Well, here's a scary stat. Every year, 350,000 Americans die from sudden cardiac arrest. That is according to the American Heart Association. But if CPR is performed immediately, a person's chances of surviving can double, even triple. And tonight we have some proof of that. A Chicago lawyer is paying it forward after suffering a heart attack during a golf outing last year. And thanks to the quick action of a caddy that day who was nearby, he is alive to share the story. Dylan Gaynor was caddying at the Bryn Mawr Country Club in a Chicago suburb when he noticed commotion about 100 feet away at another hole. He ran over to where Steve Levin had collapsed while golfing. Licensed in CPR, Gaynor acted quickly and started chest compressions. After about 20 seconds, Levin started gasping for air and his color returned to his face. Gaynor continued until police got there 3 to 4 minutes later.
I am living proof that CPR saves lives. Had Dylan not been there to administer CPR, I just wouldn't be here today.
Levin was unconscious for 11 days in the hospital, but fully recovered from a heart attack.
Dylan, thanks again.
He and his wife of 48 years are grateful for Gaynor's quick response to someone in need.
Thanks to CPR and Dylan, the caddy, my husband is here. He's got all his marbles, and we can lead a long life. It literally saved his life. It was a witnessed event, thank God. If it wasn't, we would not be having this conversation today. So if it wasn't for Dylan, who was trained, he had the guts and the confidence to go up to a group of people and say, I got this, I can handle it. And he stepped in and he did what had to be done. And for that, I'm forever grateful.
Since his recovery, Levin is paying it forward and strongly believes in the power of CPR saving lives. He's donated life-saving CPR equipment to the fire department where the paramedics who came to the rescue on the golf course that day work. He's also held CPR training sessions at his law office and trained his family. And since saving Levin's life, Gaynor has decided to pursue a career in medicine. And as a thank you, Levin is footing the bill. Well, according to the American Heart Association, less than 50% of people who have cardiac arrest outside of a hospital get that immediate help before a professional arrives. The general public is encouraged to learn and know hands-only CPR because you never know when you might have to use it, and you hope if you ever go down, someone around knows how as well. Joining me in studio is Steve Levin and that quick-thinking caddy, Dylan Gaynor. To you both, thank you so much. I read about your story a couple of weeks ago, and I said, I've got to talk to you. It's truly incredible. Steve, I want to start with you. Do you remember that day on the golf course?
Anything I know about that day has been reconstructed by hearing other people's versions. So I literally remember nothing about that day.
No. Well, thanks to Dylan, you can talk about it today. So what do you remember, Dylan? What did you see when you jumped into action?
Well, I was actually on the group ahead of Mr. Levin. I was caddying on the next hole by a bunker, and I saw him collapse in my peripheral vision. He must have been a couple hundred yards away from me. And I noticed that he fell down, and when I did, I ran over as fast as I could, and there were people panicking, and there was one individual trying to do mouth-to-mouth, but I stepped in and said that I'm certified and I know what to do, so I just took control and did what I knew.
Where'd you learn CPR? I
learned it at a park near Peterson Park. I learned it because I was supposed to become a lifeguard for a part-time job, but I ended up getting another job instead. But it was really useful.
I would say so, right, Steve?
I think it was
it was very useful. So I know that he saved your life by jumping in. And what most people don't know is you don't have to do mouth-to-mouth anymore, right? The chest compressions right between the nipples, you push hard and fast until help arrives is all people need to do. So the fact that you knew that and jumped in, Dylan, is incredible. This has changed your life, I'm sure, in a lot of ways. Describe for us how so.
Well, I mean, the true heroes of this story are Dylan, and you saw a little clip from my wife. And one thing that Dylan and I both believe strongly in is spread the knowledge of CPR. So we started with our office, and we hope that every law office in Chicago will eventually have CPR for their employees because it will save lives. And I'm a firm believer, and Dylan is proof of this, that if you save one life, you can save the world. And we, both of us, want to pay this forward and get as many people as possible learning CPR, because it will save lives.
Yep, it saved yours. And so in terms of paying it forward, you want to go into medicine now. Where are you at in school?
I just finished up at community colleges at Truman, and I'm about to transfer into UIC.
Okay, and you're helping him do that, right? So you
Yes.
jumped in. What went into the decision to pay it forward in this way and support his medical endeavors?
Well, I mean, number one, he deserves it. And number two, the medical community can certainly use a person like Dylan, but the gratitude I feel, and it's hard to really express the gratitude in words that you feel for someone who saved your life. And if there's anything our family can do for Dylan, we'll do it, and we'll do it gladly. But what's really nice about it is that Dylan becoming a healthcare practitioner will improve that field.
Wow. You two are connected for life because of what has happened. What are your greatest hopes for your future in medicine? What do you want to do?
I just honestly hope to eventually save more lives, and I want to be able to spread this knowledge just as Mr. Levin does, and I think it's very important for people to learn CPR. It could be very easily spread if we just spread the knowledge, and I hope to make a huge difference in the world.
Well, you're a hero. Real quickly before I run out of time, how you doing now? You back out on the golf course?
I'm back out on the golf course. I'm back to work, and I would remiss if I didn't say that this was a classic case of resuscitation. Dylan kept me alive till the police got there. The police did the right thing by shocking my heart. The paramedics picked up from there and got me to the hospital. So it was a combination, and my wife nursed me through a very difficult recovery, because I didn't wake up until 12 days after this event.
Well, CPR saves lives. You are proof of it. Learn it, know it, train on it. You never know, as I said, when it's going to be you. Steve Levin and Dylan, it's great to have you both. Come back on and continue to share this message. And then by being here tonight, let's hope you save some more lives.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.